guys, it's Amanda, and I am here with the one and only Steve Raiken from Raiken Profits. Here to kind of tell me more about eBay to Amazon.
Let's do it.
You know, I really focus on Walmart, but I used to do eBay to Amazon, and it just has my heart. It will always have my heart. So if someone wants to start eBay to Amazon, what do you think are the top 3 ways to get started or find items? And most importantly, like, what items should they go for?
Absolutely. So there's a lot of different niches that you can flip. I mean, you can pretty much flip any niche that you want from eBay to Amazon. The thing you have to keep in mind is, especially in 2025, there's a lot of gatings, there's a lot of restrictions. And when you're flipping items from eBay to Amazon, you know, there's risks involved. Like the same if you go to a thrift store, a garage sale, if you sell stuff from around your house, you got to be careful because Amazon says that you can sell the item, it doesn't mean you're not going to get like a counterfeit or an IP complaint, or, you know, there's a bunch of different things that could go wrong. So I would say for a beginner, someone who is brand spanking new, and I would say probably a lot of people who are watching your channel are probably, like, if they're on Amazon, they're probably like selling books. Books is one of the best niches to start with because they're cheap, they're inexpensive. There's a lot of books that you can sell without having to get ungated or whatnot. So I would say start flipping items from eBay to Amazon in the book category. Now, I use a software that I developed. We developed it over 2 years ago, Replen Catcher.
Yes.
So Replen Catcher, essentially, there's 2 ways you could use the software. Number one, you can just create a filter. So you can say, all right, Replen Catcher, I want you to tell me what deals are making at least 40% ROI, that have under a 2 million rank, $7 profit within the book category. And we're tracking like 1 million books in Replen Catcher. So we will go out, look at all these million books, compare the prices on Amazon, and tell you what books, you know, you could purchase. But I'll tell you right now, with books, a lot of the best deals that I'm buying, and I don't do a ton of books, I do a lot of like DVDs, electronics, different things like that. More advanced categories probably that I'm not going to talk about in this video, although DVDs is really good. That'll be our second niche. But with books, make best offers. There's a lot of books that are sitting on eBay that are only like 25-30% ROI. And with eBay, you can make best offers. So you can literally just send a message. Like, there could be a book that's for sale for $30 on eBay that's only selling for $50, but you need to, you know, you need to get it for $20 to be 60% ROI. You can make a best offer and get that deal. The thing I'll tell you with books though, you gotta be careful. Like, if you're doing Amazon to Amazon, if you're doing eBay to Amazon, if you're thrifting, people are getting lawsuits selling books. They're getting in big trouble selling books that Amazon has deemed to be counterfeit. They work with publishers and different companies. So I use a website called BooksRun.
Okay.
BooksRun Counterfeit Calculator. So you can put in the ISBN and it'll tell you, is it unlikely to be a counterfeit, likely, or highly likely? If it's anything other than not likely, I would not flip that book. And it's the same with Amazon and Amazon Flip. So I think books is the best category. You can buy those items dirt cheap, $5 or $6, $7 on eBay, and flip them for $40, $50, $60, $70. That's my first niche, books.
Awesome. I love selling books. I think that books, you know, are a thing that, you know, people are always like, oh, books are going to go away. We have digital media now, but I don't see that. I see people still loving to read physical books, whether that's textbooks or high school books or just those nonfiction books. I think those are still around and going to be around for many years.
And think about it, like if you're a student and you need a chemistry book, if you go to the college bookstore, it's a freaking scam. They're gonna want $200, $300 for a book when you could just buy it from Amanda on Amazon or buy it from me for 70, 80, 90 bucks. And, you know, maybe we're picking it up at a thrift store, or we're buying it on eBay with Replen Catcher, or whatever, right? Maybe from a flea market. I bought books from flea markets, you know?
Yeah.
But I love books. My advice would be run your books through BooksRun Counterfeit Calculator and make sure that you're running your ROI and profit calculations correctly. Like, you don't want to just look at the used buy box with books. It's going to get you in big trouble. You need to look at the black line on Keepa, the lowest overall used offer, okay? Like, there's a lot of times where the lowest overall used offer for a book will be $14, 16, 15, 17, and then the buy box is at like 70 and 80 and 90. There's a good chance nobody's selling that book for 70 or 80 or 90 bucks. So don't overpay. I see this all the time. People overpay for their books, and thrifters get away with it. People go to library sales, get away with it because they're only paying 50 cents, $1 or $2. But when you start getting into eBay to Amazon flipping, your margins really get cut down because your cost of goods has increased so much.
Right, exactly. So let's go to number 2. What is your second best category that you love selling on Amazon, or that's good for starters? Get introduced to eBay to Amazon.
Yeah, well, this is my favorite category. When I started flipping items from eBay to Amazon, Amanda, back in like 2021, into 2021, I started with one category, well, 2. I started with books, but that was like not as big of a percentage as this one. But this category, I flipped my first year 8,000 of these. Now my average selling price was only like 30, 35 bucks when I first started. Now it's over 115 as I've refined my replens list over time. DVDs, oh my God. Like I want to tell everyone on the boardwalk, like you guys aren't flipping DVDs? Are you out of your mind? I love DVDs. DVDs are amazing. Now, you do have to get them gated in the DVD category, and there will be some gating issues with like specific brands as well. Like if you want to sell like a Star Wars DVD or a Lego DVD, same with toys, which we'll talk about. This is the last one, I'm spoiling it, but toys is amazing as well. Like you're gonna have to get them gated. And now a lot of the, I don't know, is Walmart doing this where now they don't want 10, they want 100? Or is Walmart still like 1 or whatever?
Two is the minimum quantity for getting on Walmart.
Yeah, it's really annoying nowadays with Amazon. They want you to buy like 100 of an item. So bite the bullet though. I mean, find an item, you know, on christianbook.com or find a wholesale website, buy 100. Even if you lose a buck or two, fine, you're out $200, but now you're gated in DVDs. A lot of my DVDs that I flip, and I've got tons of videos on my channel, make 15, 20, 30, 40 bucks. I just picked one up the other day that I shared with my group. I paid $200. I'm gonna sell it for like $400. I flip very high-end DVDs as well, and there's a lot of them out there. And you were saying before, people, they say, oh, books is outdated, everything's digital, blah, blah, blah. People tell me all the time in my comments, like, oh, you're an idiot, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. DVDs, nobody buys DVDs anymore. A lot of people buy DVDs, a lot. We have like 400 million people in the United States, so even if it's just 0.001%, that's still hundreds of thousands of people interested in DVDs. Some people just want a good, hard DVD in their hand that they can just, they don't want to watch Netflix, they just want to relive their childhood or whatever. I'm not in the business of guessing what people want. I'm in the business of looking at real data on SellerAmp, looking at real data on Keepa, looking at real data using Replen Catcher and seeing what do people want, what are the sales ranks, how many sales per month. And then I just go out, find those items if it's available, and I flip it. Well, what types of DVDs? I don't even play that game, right? Like, I'm not a thrifter. I buy any DVD that's gonna make 50% ROI or more. I go after new DVDs, just use Replen Catcher. Just go to Replen Catcher, put in DVDs, choose your ROI and profit, and you'll literally find thousands of DVDs with the potential to be able to purchase. Not all of them you're gonna be able to purchase right off the bat. You gotta make best offers. Some of them, you know, might have tanked in price, or, you know, it's just maybe a mismatch, which happens, but DVDs, that's it, DVDs.
And how many DVDs do you buy that you're like, I don't even know what this is, but it doesn't matter because it sells?
Oh, all the time.
I feel like all the time I'm buying something, I'm like, I don't even know what this is, but obviously a lot of people know and like to buy it, and it does blow my mind how much people will really buy. You know, like there's this DVD that, you know, may not think you'd give it a second chance,
stupid.
But you know, you just got to go with the data, I think, and that's really the most. Don't go with what you think will sell. Go with the numbers. You know. I'm
the least handyman you'll ever know, and I buy a lot of tools and different like home improvement type of items, and half this stuff I'm like, I don't even know what this is. I don't even know what it is at all. And like one guy said on a video, you should really know the products that you're selling, and it's like, why would I spend all my time learning about the products when all I need to know is it's got a good sales rank, it's selling all the time, there's a demand, the buy box is steady, Amazon's not on the listing, or the buy box is rotating. So many people get caught up in the emotion of like, you know, like I gotta provide amazing customer service. When you're doing FBA, you don't do any customer service.
Yeah.
Anytime someone asks me a question, I just say no response needed. So that's Amazon's job.
Yeah, exactly. So we've done books and gone through DVDs. So what is the third category if somebody wants to venture out of books to DVDs?
Starts with a T, ends with an S.
I love toys. Amazing across all platforms.
Yeah.
You know, they do well on Walmart, they do well on Amazon, and of course they do well on eBay as well. Is there a certain toy you like to go after, if it's like Barbie or Transformers, or is it just kind of all broad, like anything?
Yeah. I stopped selling Barbie because I was getting a lot of returns with them. I know you used to when you were doing eBay to Amazon.
I know a lot of Barbies.
I remember one time, like we were sharing our replens list. I'm like, this girl's all she sells is freaking Barbie. You were like you're a little Barbie brat.
I love Barbie, but it did, like, especially the older vintage collector items, they want them in perfect condition.
Yeah.
And if it had like a scratch on it, they return it.
I flip a lot of board games. I flip Transformers, Star Wars, Marvel, Lego, action figures, card games, a lot of different things, pretty much any and everything. The thing with toys category is if you're a newer seller, it's not as friendly as it used to be, because now like they're gonna gate Hasbro, Lego's gated, Marvel's gated. I feel like I do have a leg up on the competition. Like I have almost like an unfair advantage because I've been in this game for so long. But I can just tell you guys what the reality is. Like that's why I've been screaming at the top of the rooftop for the last 10 years, sell on Amazon. People procrastinate, they don't do it, they don't take action, and then you don't get grandfathered into these brands, and you know, if you don't sell enough Star Wars, they re-gate you, you know. So I've been consistent, I'm reaping the rewards. I'm not saying that to, you know, make myself sound special or cocky, but the reality is I've been consistent with this business. I've done over $700,000 in the last 12 months, 6,000 products sold for over $110. So when you're consistently selling these items, they don't re-gate you. You know, a lot of people are complaining, oh, I got gated in Universal DVDs. I never did. Everyone said they got gated in Hasbro. I never got gated. Lego, I never got gated, because I'm consistently selling the same items over the time. I'm not jumping around from thing to thing to thing. I'm very focused. While everybody's distracted and jumping from this to this to that to this, I'm just in my lane, flipping items from eBay to Amazon for the last 4.5 years. And to end my tangent, toys. I love toys. Toys are great. Probably my top category I'm flipping now, actually.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. I love toys. Again, they do well across all platforms. So how do you find these? Am I gonna go on eBay and just copy paste into eBay to Amazon? Like, what's the best tool software to use for eBay to Amazon?
Since we're at the beach, you need a metal detector. You got to just go around the beach looking for Lego and Marvel and action figures. That's the best way to flip items from eBay to Amazon.
You'll get it somewhere.
All right, my bad jokes are over. You can certainly manually source. Like if you're on a budget and you don't want to purchase like a subscription, I use Replen Catcher, my entire team. That's all they use now. We used to use a software called FlipMine. But about 6 months ago, I changed the password because virtual assistants, they just want to use what they're comfortable with. And I'm like, you guys are done with this software, okay? This software, Replen Catcher is 100 times better. So the only way they source is Replen Catcher, which again, you could source from filters and it does all the work for you. You don't need a replens list. Or if you have like, say you've been thrifting and doing library sales, say you have a couple hundred items that you've sold before, take a list of those ASINs, put them in a spreadsheet, upload that to Replen Catcher, and Replen Catcher will track and monitor all of those items 24/7 around the clock. If you don't want to pay for a subscription, you can just type the UPC or the title into eBay and manually source, or if you're using SellerAmp, they have like a little eBay button where you can reverse source an item. So like, say you sold a book from a thrift store for 80 bucks, you pay $2, open up the sales page, open up SellerAmp, and then just hit eBay or put the title in eBay and just reverse search it and see if you could buy it for 20, 30 bucks. You're gonna pay a lot more money. This is a business you could automate. I've fully automated this business. I work no more than an hour to 2 hours per week now. I know it sounds like a freaking Tony Robbins late night commercial, but I've been in this game for 4 years. I've outsourced everything from sourcing to repricing. I don't prep anything. I don't list anything myself. I don't fix stranded inventory. I'm the bank. I spend the money.
Awesome. I love that.
So,
well, thank you so much for being here. And if you guys have any great value, please put a comment down below, and maybe we'll do more eBay to Amazon, or even do eBay to Walmart. I feel like that is a great option. So please do all the YouTube things and like, subscribe, and let's connect.
Let's go. Much love.
Hey, I am now offering one-on-one coaching. So if you want to have some one-on-one time with me, whether it's 30 minutes or an hour, I am now available, and check out the link below to check out my schedule and book that. I can help you with anything with Walmart, whether it comes to adding items into your inventory, or walking you through your first WFS shipment, or just learning how to source. I'm available and would love to help you on your journey. So let's connect.